The other woman. After 21 years of marriage, my wife surprised me by suggesting I take another woman out to dinner. She said, "You and I haven't spent enough time together, and yet I know this other woman loves you and wants to spend more time with you, and I think she's right." I was shocked, and yet, as I heard her words, I knew they were true. You see, the other woman was my mother. She had been widowed 7 years earlier, and yet the pressures of work and family had meant I'd only seen her one-to-one, very occasionally. So, that night, I called to ask her out for dinner. She said, "What's wrong? Are you well?" I replied, "I thought it would be nice to spend some time together, just the two of us." She went quiet for a few seconds and then said very warmly, "I would love to." So, that Friday after work, I drove over to pick her up. She was ready with her coat on and wearing the same dress that she had worn to celebrate her last wedding anniversary when her husband was still alive. She gave a smile as radiant as an angel's, and she said, "I told my friends that I had a date with my son, and they were very impressed. They can't wait to hear about our dinner." After we sat down, I had to read the menu to her, as she could only read large print. Halfway through, I lifted my eyes and saw her staring at me with a nostalgic smile. She said, "It was I who used to have to read the menu when you were small." I replied, "Then it's time that you relax and let me return the favour." Through the dinner, we had a wonderfully relaxed conversation. Nothing extraordinary, just catching up on recent events in each other's lives and happy memories from the past. We talked so much, we were the last to leave. As we arrived at her house, she said, "Thank you, son. If you have time, let's do this again, and next time let me return the favour and let me pay." I quickly agreed. "How was your dinner date?" asked my wife when I got home. "Very, very nice. Even more than I'd imagined," I answered. "I should have done this years ago." A few days later, my mother died of a massive heart attack. Apparently she'd been unwell and yet hadn't wanted to worry me. Amongst other things, there was an envelope addressed to me with a note inside, and a bill from the same restaurant. The note said, "I paid this bill in advance just in case I couldn't be there with you. So please enjoy a meal with your lovely and very generous wife. She will love your company, just like I did. You'll never know how much that evening meant to me. I love you, son. Mum." At that moment, I understood the importance of saying "I love you" and to give your loved ones the time that they deserve whilst you still can, because you never know when it will be too late. Vic's Fascinating Fables, stories to make you think. Brought to you by Vic, your virtual interactive coach, dedicated to helping you, your team and your family achieve and celebrate more success with less stress.